Now, I really want to end on one other thing about responsibility, because what I've been aware of over the years with parents, and I keep getting feedback from various professionals on this as well, is that what we're doing is we're doing far too much for our young people. We're not allowing them, or we're not encouraging them to take responsibility for their lives. So let me give you an example that when I gave a talk recently, someone rushed out and said, I'm working with youth, young unemployed people, trying to get them into jobs, organizing interviews, and this 18-year-old will then say, oh, I was late because my mother didn't get me up this morning. She didn't set the alarm clock, right? So that's an example of, why is this down to your mother doing it? You're 18, why are you not doing it yourself? I spoke to some outdoor educators recently, and they said, and I've heard this before from people working with young people, they would just say there's a growing number of kids who do not know how to change a bed. They've never put on a pillowcase. They've never done anything like this. They don't pack their own bag. So actually, if kit is lost, they don't know whether they had it or not because they don't know what was in their bag. Now, and the other thing is, that parents will then, they'll do all sorts of things. They'll do ironing and washing and tidy up rooms or nag on or whatever. Whereas I'm a great believer that you give young people much more responsibility for looking after themselves. I'm a mother of 2 sons, and I can remember at one point when my older boy was about 13 and he started to say, is that t-shirt not washed yet? And I'm the busy one, and he's sitting, not doing very much, and I'm the one that should get his t-shirt ready for him. And so at that point I said, you're responsible for your washing. You know whether the t-shirt is ready or not ready, or whether you want it for whatever. I've got too much to do. And now he wasn't very happy at the prospect of doing this, and I did the same with his younger brother as he came up. And at one point they said to me, we're the only boys that have to do their own washing. But they thought it was right. And one of the reasons I was doing it is I was doing this for their future relationships. Because look at, some of the surveys on friction between men and women and marital breakdown and so on, and a lot of it is about men expecting their partners or their wives to do everything for them. You're not doing anything that's positive for your son in bringing him up to believe that there's someone there that's going to look after him. I think it's a major, it's a major mistake I think we're making in life. Lots of parents will spend a lot of time arguing with their kids over things like what their room's like, and this child could be 16 or 17. On that one, I would say, close the door. That's their domain. Oh, but they'd be sleeping on a wet towel. Let them. How do you find out it's uncomfortable to sleep in a wet towel, or it's not a good thing to do? It's if you have to take responsibility for it. So I think that there is, I think it's part of this whole protecting people. It's about the indulgent parenting as well, that what's happening a lot of the time is that parents think it's just easier to do it rather than to set out the boundaries and give people responsibility. But if we see our job as bringing up resilient, responsible citizens who can look after themselves, it's really fundamental that we lay these foundations when kids are much younger.